What's up, everybody? This is Jay the Wonder with Oakland Latinos Unidos, aka Oakland Latinos United, the voice of the Latino community in the Bay Area, California, YouTube, and beyond. Well, I was doing basically an oral history lesson of the Chicano movement, of the history of Chicanos, Mexicanos, and Latinos in Oakland in the 1960s, and I ran out of time in the last video, so I had to stop it, and I didn't even get to finish. So, for those of you who've seen part 4 of this video and I didn't really complete it, I'll complete it on this part 5. Basically, I was naming some of the other organizations. I don't have pictures of them that existed during the Chicano movement, and I'll call them out a little better, and I'll basically give you what I think about that era, and basically I'll end it with that. Well, we talked about the Brown Berets, the Chicano Revolutionary Party, the bilingual schools that opened, the Unity Council, the what else? The Centro Legal de la Raza, and all those organizations that existed back then. Here's some other ones that existed also. La Causa was one of them. La Causa was an organization that helped Chicano students get into college. There was one called Teatro Triste, which was a Chicano theater group, kind of like the Teatro Campesino, but it was an organization. It was basically a theater by young local Chicanos who basically did theater about different issues, about the Chicano movement, and about many other things. There was also Frente, which was an organization from Berkeley, which organized something called the Joaquin Murrieta House, and they had a newspaper called La Voz del Pueblo. And there was a Colegio de Aztlán, which was a small little college that was organized by Chicanos, and it was supported by Merritt College, which is an Oakland college, local Oakland junior college, and community college. And and of course, many of you know La Raza Unida Party, which was basically a political party that was created by Chicanos in Denver, Colorado, by Corky Gonzalez. And La Raza Unida Party actually had a chapter here in Oakland, and their headquarters was on International Boulevard, or East 14th, as it was called, and somewhere around like 26th Street, 27th, something like that. And you know, they were a famous organization in the 60s and 70s, and they had their own chapter here in Oakland as well, as did many other organizations like LULAC, and you know, so many others had small organizations here going on in Oakland, had basically their own chapters here in Oakland and San Francisco and many other towns. Well, the Chicano movement, just like the Black Power movement, just like the Native American Indian movement, you know, was big and strong in Oakland and in the Bay Area. Unfortunately, not much was documented about it, and not much was written about it. And thank God I was able to find many OGs of that time that told me what happened. I was able to find pictures, posters, different things, and you know, I kind of put it all into perspective. You know, many Chicanos and Mexicanos and Latinos of those times fought hard for the rights of many Chicanos and Latinos now in the city of Oakland and in many other cities. And unfortunately, many of us take that for granted. And, you know, many of us deserve to thank them for their contribution for our future, basically. And, how can I say, not just Latinos and Chicanos benefited from their struggle, just like many African Americans and mainly African Americans say that Latinos and minorities, you know, benefit from the civil rights movement that blacks did. Well, many blacks and other minorities, or you know, so-called minorities or people of color, benefit from a lot of the things that we contributed in the Chicano movement. You know, especially here in Oakland, there's a lot of organizations that exist today that help black people and help Latinos and help, you know, Asians. They were created by Chicanos during the Chicano movement. So, you know, we did our contribution. We have our history in Oakland, and now you know it, you know what I mean? And, you know, I hope you like the story, and I hope you tell your family about it. I hope people that aren't from Oakland know a little something about our city, about the history, about the past, about the things that happened in the past. So, yeah, you know, the Chicano movement has always been the most influential part of my life, because it was what really got me into history, because I started reading about it when I was in high school, and it really opened my eyes, you know. At first, I started reading about the black movement, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and the Black Panthers. But then when I started finding out about Reyes Tijerina, Corky Gonzalez, the Brown Berets, and all these organizations, I started questioning, well, there had to have been these organizations in Oakland also, because, we've been here just as long, and I remember people talking about that kind of stuff. So it made me research it. So, hope you enjoyed it. That's really all I have to say. The Chicano movement in Oakland was pretty big, and even though the community was a lot smaller then, it was a pretty big movement and an influential movement, and it brought a lot of changes that we can see today. Even if you walk down Fruitvale Avenue or International Boulevard, you can still see traces of the Chicano movement. Believe me, you don't have to go very far to see them. But that's really all I have to say. This is Jay the Wanderer signing off, saying Chicano power, like in the old spirit. For sure, I'm out. Late.